Alright, and as predicted, the rolls didn't take very long and they're nice crispy brown on our grill, as you can see. And we'll pull those off now ahead of our burgers because we don't want those to burn. We'll give our burgers a nice quarter turn so that they get nice and cooked nice and evenly, just like that. Now I've had this grill on high. Here's that big one we made with more meat in it. Remember the last one that had the most meat? I'm going to pull that down too. I had it on high, but now I'm going to turn this grill down a little bit to about a medium low. Let that meat coast in now. Put it in the middle where it's not getting as much direct heat. And it'll cook nice and evenly, and all those delicious ingredients will come out the same texture and so forth. Alright, we're a little further down in our cooking adventure. Some time has passed. And look at our nice burgers. You see how the juice is coming up over the top? You know when you see that on a burger that it's about ready to turn over. Ah, isn't that pretty? Alright, this guy over here, as I remember, this was the Greek one. Here's the big old Italian one with the Asiago cheese and the red onions. Look at that beauty. Nice, nice, nice. Leave them like so. We'll close that cover again. It's on low, so we'll let them bake a little bit. We want them to cook all the way through, but we don't want to burn them. And it's been about 7 minutes on our big old 4-pound piece of pork rib that's supposed to fall off the bone. And we'll check in on that guy too, because our recipe calls for us to turn it at 8 minutes. And so I'm looking at this and it looks close enough. Those nice hot grills. We're going to pick this thing up as best we can. Yep, nice and warm. Turn it over. Oh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that just nice and beautiful? I'm going to close this up again. And we'll check in again in about 8 minutes and see how that's coming along as well. Alright, now our ethnic burgers ought to be just about done. And we take a look and oh, there they are. Very nicely looking good. Looking very well cooked and nice and done. See the onion poking out of this one. This is that Italian one. You can see little bits of that Asiago cheese that's melted up and just deliciousness out there like a little volcano of cheese. Here's the French one with the blue cheese. And this here is the Greek one that's got that, look at that feta cheese just coming out of there nicely. It's all nice and done, and your friends are going to eat this up, and they're going to love it, and so are you. Alright, well, our big piece of 4-pound pork ribs is still cooking away, and it still has a little time left to cook. And oh, a nice smoky flavor just going right in there. And to save a little time, I'm going to take these parboiled ribs that we made before, the ones we cut up, and they're going to share a little space on this grill. These are essentially cooked, and they want to get nice and hot on this charcoal. Try to keep a little separation between them so they don't catch the same flavor. And let's close those in there and let those cook too. They need about 6-7 minutes total, and the last 2 or so with some of that glaze that we made on top of them, that cooks in there as well. Alright, well here we are back, and our piece of 4-pound pork rib has been cooking away, and it's about done now. And we closed the cover to let it smoke a bit. Oh, look at that beautiful smoke. Look at that beautiful, nice, big piece of rib. See, we tucked in our cut pieces there, and that we're going to put our glaze on in a minute. But the first thing we're going to do is take this beauty right off of there. And I clean this off. We're just going to put it right back on the same one that we brought it out on. And cut it up when we're in the house. I'll move these over while we're here. And these are about ready to get their glaze. But let me put this big piece of pork roast ribs into the kitchen. And I'll be back to tend to those in just 1 second. Alright, now we're back. We've got our cut ribs and they're smoking away. Woo! In that nice charcoal. And look at them, and they're ready now to receive that glaze, and we'll get them all ready to go. You know, we did put just a little bit of charcoal in there, and it was so good that we did, because you really can't adjust charcoal. Once you start with it, you're stuck with that temperature, and we went with a nice low to medium and an intense heat, but not all the way to the top where you'd have just torched this stuff and it would have turned into leather. But anyway, we've got that now, and this that glaze we made earlier with the dark molasses, the honey, the brown sugar, the sesame seeds, which you can still see on top, and the ginger for the spice and taste of Asia. And oh, isn't that nice and thick, huh? Look at that. It's like thick Mississippi mud. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Nice and sweet. All right, our meat's ready for us. And you're just going to dollop this right on there like that. Just try to get it on the meaty portion. You don't really need to put it on the bone because you ain't eating the bone. But see, like that? Nice on there. It's going to blend with that meat and that charcoal flavor. And it's going to give it a little more juiciness and certainly a ton more flavor. And there you go, like that. And I just use my spoon. You could use a lot of people like to brush this kind of stuff on their meat, but this stuff is so thick that you really are better off just dolloping it on there with your spoon. So now we leave that on top like that. I'm going to let that bake in for 45 seconds maybe, and then we're going to turn it and just let it crisp on the other side for another 45 seconds and do the top, turn it back and crisp it again, and then that bad boy is just ready for eating along with all the other stuff that we made today. Alright, it had a chance to bake in. Now we're going to turn him over and let him cook real good and sear and crispy on the other side. Look at that bubbling, nice, tasty meat. These are good too. We got so much food for our friends. Alright, real quick with it. Dollop them on the meat. Skip the bone. You don't need the bone. Just like that. Just like that. And a little more down here. And it is a little bit of work, but your guests will love it. Nice and sweet, along with meaty. And cover it up and let it steam and cook at the same time for about a minute or two. We'll twirl it one more time and crisp that part we just put on, and like I said, off it comes. Back to our concoction. We got to keep a close eye on it because we don't want anything to burn. Oh, isn't that nice? All right, let's twirl them again. Pretty. Look at that, huh? It's not burning. Oh, but look at that little. Nice, nice, nice. We'll put this guy like so. Oop. Don't even think about it. You stand like that. Oop. Don't even think you're going to get away from me. Moving toward the middle. It appears the middle is cooking a little hotter. Put this guy over there too. Alright, we'll close him up a little bit longer. Let him crisp some more. Alright, our ribs are probably just about done right now. There you can see from the smoking of our little char broiler that they're coming right along, and oh, they're very pretty. Look at that. You see the sesame seeds on top? I just love those. And those things are fully cooked. And the inside part that's moist in those are just boiling over. And they're going to be so, so good. So we're going to take that off. Look at that beauty. Very nice. We're going to put more on, and we'll have our guests look in on them if we want, because most men like to cook if somebody else does most of the work. But these are all done now. Look at those coals, by the way. You've got probably 3 more hours left that you could use them for something else. And we may well do that because we got a lot of food. But here's our ribs, and this is the final step in our meal, and we'll take it all inside and put it together right now. Alright everyone, well that's just about everything we have to cook today, and it's all laid out here in front of us. And we've got our ribs, we've got our ethnic burgers, we got our big old shtuk of meat right here, we got our delicious corn, and I can't wait to open it up and find out if it's any good. We've got our toasted buns, and anybody of your guests that wants something extra, they can take a little slice of our red onion and pop that on a burger or whatever they like. I got some pickles I found on the sale rack at Big Bunny for $1.50, so I couldn't help but grab those nice dill slices. I got the leftover remnants of our cut up to make a Greek burger mixed soaked olives that people just love, and they can dig on these too, although they have pits, but that'll just give them something to do. And then, you know what, if somebody's feeling exotic, they can sprinkle Asiago cheese on almost any of this stuff and it'll be good. But anyway, that's it. Let's prepare a plate. I'm going to start right here with this corn because I can't wait to see how this thing came out. And it had a chance to rest for 20 minutes while we cooked our meat, and look at it now. It's nice. I'll get rid of that aluminum. It'll go into the recycling bin. And look at that bacon and how that cooked in there nice like that. We'll take that bacon off. We'll peel off this husk now that helped to cook this beautiful piece of corn, and it is nice and done just as promised. And there's that more bacon, and that's fully cooked, and that'll be off to the side for someone. And then we're going to take a nice little, without making my hands too messy, a nice little pork rib for our diner. And here we're going to take a serrated knife now and cut our way through this bit of rib here that is fully cooked, and look at how easily that cuts. And you've got a beautiful piece of that rib for all your guests, and all your cavemen, Mantown friends can grab a big old shtuk of that, and you know they're going to love that. And that's got that chipotle flavor soaked all the way through, and that is just good, and it is so tender. So we get a piece of that too for our friends. We'll put that on there. We have our toasted roll. Geez, we're running out of room for our pasta salad, but we have to make room for it. In any event, we'll take our nice, this is the Italian one with the Asiago. We'll make a nice burger for everybody. Beautiful with a little ketchup, steaming hot. And then last but not least, we have our beautiful, fully colored pasta salad, which was in the fridge until just a minute ago, and it's nice and cold. And seeing as how I ran out of room on my plate, I'm just going to go ahead and get another little bowl here and a nice spoon and get a nice serving of this for my guests too. And look at that, doesn't that look delicious? And in case your friends are worried about health, it's got beautiful vitamin C laden red onions, and it's got florets of broccoli that just everybody's mother knows are just so good for you. And of course those peppers have vitamin C as well. And so there you go. Well, I just can't lay a salad out like that without putting some ground pepper on it. It's just against my nature. So I got to do that too. And so everyone, a good day's work in the kitchen and outside on the grill with our charcoal griller. And a nice feast for your friends, and plenty of it. And bon appetit. Find the ledge between the bones, and you can buy them already cut. You can buy country ribs too, but I think that these pork ribs on the bone like this are just the best. This guy's not cooperating, as you can see, so I've got right here his big friend. The knife's a big friend, and maybe he can help things along too. But today here,
No, that's okay because